Signs you carry God's presence. When you carry God's presence, you begin to live out a life marked by divine influence. You become a beacon of peace, love, and power in a world that so often lacks these qualities. There are clear signs that demonstrate you carry His presence, and each sign is a testament to the life-changing impact of aligning with God's purpose. One of the most visible signs that you carry God's presence is a profound peace that surpasses understanding. This peace does not come from external circumstances, but from an internal foundation built on trust in God's sovereignty. The world may be in turmoil around you, but you remain grounded, confident that God has already equipped you with what you need to handle any situation. This peace is a divine covering, one that guards your heart and mind. It reflects a deep understanding that God's presence within you is greater than any outside force, and no situation is too big for His power. As you walk in God's presence, you will notice that favor follows you. Favor comes in many forms: opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that align in your favor, even when it seems unlikely. When you carry God's presence, doors open where there were once walls. People will go out of their way to support you, and things will happen that seem to defy logic. This unexplainable favor is a testament to God's hand upon your life, a reminder that His favor surrounds you as a shield, pushing you toward the fulfillment of your purpose. The peace that surpasses understanding is a profound concept rooted deeply in the spiritual journey. It is a peace that is not contingent upon the state of the world around us, but flows from an unwavering trust in God's sovereignty and divine purpose. This peace is a gift, a supernatural assurance that stands firm even in the most tumultuous circumstances. It is the kind of peace that the world cannot offer, a peace that defies the logic of human reasoning and transcends the challenges we face. This peace goes beyond a mere absence of conflict. It is a deep inner calm and security that comes from knowing that God is in control. It is an assurance that no matter what happens, God's plan will prevail. This peace can be experienced even in the midst of uncertainty, loss, or hardship because it is grounded in faith. The Apostle Paul in Philippians 4:7 writes about this peace as a peace that surpasses all understanding, describing it as something that guards our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This peace, therefore, is not just a fleeting emotion, but a steadfast presence that keeps us anchored in the truth of God's promises. To experience this peace, one must first let go of the need to control every aspect of life. Human beings tend to worry about the unknown, and anxiety often arises from fear of what the future holds. However, when we choose to surrender our concerns to God, we open the door for His peace to enter. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but on the internal assurance that God's will is greater than our own understanding. It requires trust that God is working all things together for our good, even when we cannot see the way forward. Moreover, this peace is not passive. It is active and resilient, enabling us to navigate life's storms with a sense of purpose and clarity. It empowers us to respond to adversity not with panic or despair, but with calm and resolve. This peace allows us to remain steady in the face of trials, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. It is the peace that enables us to forgive, to let go of grudges, and to move forward with hope rather than bitterness. The key to accessing this peace is cultivating a close relationship with God. Through prayer, meditation, and reflection on His Word, we become more attuned to His presence, and His peace fills the spaces in our hearts that anxiety once occupied. When we focus on God's promises rather than our problems, we allow His peace to take root in our lives. We no longer need to be controlled by the fear of uncertainty because we know that God, who holds the universe in His hands, is also holding us. In the end, the peace that surpasses understanding is not just a gift we receive, but a state of being that we cultivate through faith, trust, and surrender. It is a peace that frees us from the shackles of anxiety and fear, a peace that guards our hearts, and a peace that stands as a witness to the world of God's sustaining presence in our lives. As we walk in this peace, we reflect His love and grace, showing others the transformative power of a life grounded in trust and faith in God. Unexplainable favor is a divine blessing that goes beyond human understanding and logic. It is the favor of God bestowed upon individuals that causes them to experience exceptional grace, kindness, and provision despite their circumstances or qualifications. This kind of favor cannot be earned, predicted, or explained by worldly standards. It is not based on merit, wealth, or social status, but on God's unconditional love and divine plan for an individual's life. When we talk about unexplainable favor, we are referring to moments in life where everything seems to fall into place against all odds. It is the promotion that comes when no one expected it, the opportunity that arises just when you need it most, or the protection that shields you from harm. It is the favor that goes beyond the natural and points to something greater at work, something beyond human comprehension. God's favor, as described in Scripture, is a gift that manifests in tangible ways, often in times of need, to demonstrate His presence and power. One of the most powerful aspects of unexplainable favor is its timing. It is not a favor that we can manipulate or predict, yet when it arrives, it feels as though everything has been orchestrated perfectly. In the Bible, we see countless stories of individuals who experienced unexplainable favor, like Joseph, who was elevated from slavery to a position of power in Egypt. Despite being wronged, he walked in favor, and his story is a testimony of how God's favor can lift us from the lowest point to the highest. Another characteristic of unexplainable favor is its abundance. Favor often comes in more than one form, whether it's financial blessings, restored relationships, or opportunities for growth and advancement. It is a kind of favor that overflows and touches not just the individual, but those around them. It creates ripple effects of blessings, as seen in the story of Ruth, who found favor in the eyes of Boaz, leading to a transformation in her life and legacy. However, unexplainable favor does not always come in the form of material blessings. It can manifest as wisdom, peace, or protection. The favor of God can guide us through difficult decisions, provide peace in times of turmoil, and shield us from dangers we are not even aware of. It is a favor that equips us with the strength and resources to fulfill our purpose in life, often when we feel least prepared. To walk in unexplainable favor, we must first recognize and acknowledge God as the source of this favor. It is not our skills, talents, or efforts that ultimately bring about favor. It is God's grace and His sovereignty. This requires a humble and grateful heart, one that is open to God's leading and willing to step into the unknown, trusting that He has a purpose for us. We must learn to walk by faith, understanding that unexplainable favor often shows up when we least expect it, and that our journey is part of God's larger plan. In the end, unexplainable favor is a reflection of God's love for His people. It is an expression of His divine will, meant to reveal His glory and goodness to the world. As we walk in His favor, we become witnesses of His greatness, showing others that the favor of God is not based on what we do, but on His perfect plan for our lives. The power to transform lives is a remarkable force that resides within each of us, waiting to be activated through purpose, faith, and the right mindset. Transformation is not merely a change in circumstances, but a complete overhaul of the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It is a process that begins internally and works its way outward, affecting every aspect of our lives. The ability to transform lives lies in understanding our potential, recognizing the power within us, and allowing that power to guide us to a new reality. At the heart of transformation is the understanding that we have been given the authority and power to change not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. It begins with personal growth and the realization that we are not limited by our past experiences or current circumstances. When we tap into our divine potential, we can break free from the chains of fear, doubt, and limitation. The transformation process is deeply rooted in our ability to shift our mindset, embrace change, and trust that we are not defined by our failures or setbacks. Faith plays a crucial role in the power to transform lives. Without faith in ourselves and the Creator, the journey of transformation becomes significantly more challenging. Faith is the belief in what is unseen and the assurance that the impossible can become possible. When we walk in faith, we open ourselves to the possibility of change, allowing ourselves to take risks, step out of our comfort zones, and pursue our dreams, regardless of how insurmountable they may seem. Faith empowers us to trust that even when the path is unclear, there is a greater plan at work in our lives. Another vital aspect of transformation is purpose. Our lives take on new meaning when we align ourselves with our divine purpose. When we discover why we were created and what our true calling is, we begin to live with intention. Purpose provides the fuel for transformation, and it enables us to make decisions based on what is best for our growth and well-being. It allows us to be more resilient in the face of challenges because we understand that the difficulties we face are not there to break us, but to shape us into the people we were meant to be. The power to transform lives is also reflected in our ability to influence others. As we experience personal transformation, we naturally begin to inspire and uplift those around us. Our actions, words, and attitude can create a ripple effect, encouraging others to pursue their own journeys of transformation. When we empower others to discover their potential and purpose, we contribute to a collective movement of change that impacts communities, societies, and even nations. Transformation is never an isolated process. It is meant to spread, to touch others, and to create a wave of positive change that reaches beyond ourselves. Finally, the power to transform lives is not just about achieving success or material wealth. True transformation is a holistic process that touches every area of life, relationships, health, spiritual growth, and personal well-being. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and living a life that reflects the fullness of your potential. As we transform, we become more connected to our purpose, more aligned with God's will, and more capable of experiencing the fullness of life. Transformation is not easy, but it is possible for anyone willing to embrace change, take responsibility for their growth, and trust in the power of God to guide them. The journey may be difficult, but the rewards are immense. Through purpose, faith, and the power of a transformed mind, we can shape our destiny and change not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Unshakable confidence in God's will is a powerful mindset that can transform every aspect of our lives. It is the unwavering belief that God's plan for us is perfect, regardless of the circumstances we face. This kind of confidence comes from knowing that God is always in control, and that no matter how challenging the journey may seem, His purpose for our lives will ultimately prevail. It requires deep faith, trust, and an understanding that God's will is always aligned with our highest good, even when we cannot immediately see the way forward. When we place our confidence in God's will, we recognize that our lives are not governed by randomness or fate, but by divine direction. This belief frees us from the fear of the unknown because we know that God, in His infinite wisdom, is guiding us every step of the way. The challenges we face are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth. Confidence in God's will allows us to face life's obstacles with the knowledge that He has a purpose for every experience, no matter how difficult it may appear at the time. True confidence in God's will comes from knowing His character. We understand that God is good, loving, and just. He desires the best for His children and works all things together for our benefit, Romans 8:28. This knowledge gives us the assurance that even when life doesn't unfold as we expect, we can trust that His plans are better than ours. It is not about understanding every detail of our lives, but trusting that God's will is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our personal desires or timelines. The ability to trust God's will requires surrender. It means letting go of our own need to control every situation and acknowledging that God knows what is best for us. Surrendering to God's will is not a passive act, but an active choice to place our lives in His hands. It is acknowledging that He sees the bigger picture and we do not. In moments of uncertainty or doubt, this surrender becomes a source of peace. We no longer feel the pressure to figure everything out ourselves because we know that God is leading us in the right direction. When we are confident in God's will, we are also confident in our ability to walk through the challenges of life. Confidence in His plan gives us the strength to overcome difficulties, knowing that they are not the end of the story, but part of a larger divine narrative. Even in times of hardship, we can stand firm, assured that God is with us and that His plan for us is far greater than any temporary setback. We can remain steadfast in our purpose, knowing that God will equip us with the strength, wisdom, and grace to face whatever comes our way. Finally, unshakable confidence in God's will brings us peace. It eliminates anxiety about the future, fear of failure, and the burden of trying to control every aspect of life. When we place our confidence in God, we no longer feel the need to manipulate circumstances or people to achieve our desires. We trust that in His perfect timing, He will bring everything to fruition. This confidence allows us to live each day with joy, knowing that we are secure in the knowledge that God's will is being done in our lives. In conclusion, unshakable confidence in God's will is a transformative force that anchors our souls. It is rooted in faith, trust, and the understanding that God's plan for us is always aligned with our highest good. When we surrender to His will, we find peace, strength, and purpose, and we can confidently walk through life knowing that God is guiding us every step of the way. Overflowing joy and gratitude are transformative forces that shape our lives and our outlook. When we experience true joy and gratitude, it doesn't just brighten our day, it shifts our entire perspective. These feelings are not mere emotions, but deep spiritual states that carry us through challenges, reminding us of the goodness in our lives, even during difficult times. Joy is a gift from within, born from a heart that recognizes the blessings it has received. It's not a fleeting feeling tied to external circumstances, but a steady, unwavering force that comes from knowing we are deeply loved and cared for. When joy overflows, it radiates into every aspect of our lives. It influences how we interact with others, how we view challenges, and how we move forward, even in the face of adversity. True joy is not dependent on material wealth or earthly success, but on the awareness that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. It comes from understanding that we are fulfilling a purpose, that our lives matter, and that we are never alone. Gratitude is the natural companion to joy. It is an acknowledgement of the goodness that exists in our lives, often in the most unexpected places. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It opens our eyes to the beauty of the present moment and to the countless blessings we might have overlooked. A heart of gratitude is never satisfied with just what it has. It seeks to share, to express appreciation, and to uplift others. Gratitude breeds humility. It helps us remember that our successes, our joys, and even our strength come from a source far greater than ourselves. When we are grateful, we become more aware of the ways in which we are supported, not just by people, but by God, nature, and the universe at large. The power of joy and gratitude lies in their ability to transform not just our emotions, but our lives. These qualities have the power to shift our focus from the negative to the positive, from the empty to the fulfilling. When we choose to embrace joy and live with gratitude, we start to see life differently. We become more open to new opportunities, more resilient in the face of adversity, and more compassionate toward others. Our mindset shifts from a survival mode to one of thriving, where we focus not on what is missing, but on what is abundantly present. This overflowing joy and gratitude are contagious. When we cultivate these feelings, they naturally spill over into the lives of others. A smile, a kind word, a generous act, these things radiate from a heart full of joy and gratitude. In turn, they create an environment of positivity that encourages others to do the same. As we express gratitude and share our joy, we become a source of inspiration and hope to those around us, inviting them to experience the same sense of fulfillment. Ultimately, overflowing joy and gratitude are not just personal virtues, but powerful tools for transformation. They allow us to build a life rooted in positivity, love, and abundance. When we choose to live with joy, no matter the circumstances, and to give thanks for all that we have, we open ourselves to a life of greater fulfillment and peace. These practices help us navigate life's challenges with grace, reminding us that even in the most difficult of times, we have much to be thankful for. Conviction to live out your purpose is the force that propels you forward, even in the face of adversity. It is the deep, unwavering belief that you are on the path that aligns with your true calling, and it drives you to push through obstacles and remain focused on your mission. Living with conviction is not simply about having a goal. It's about wholeheartedly committing to the journey that leads you to fulfill your purpose, regardless of challenges or external pressures. When you are convicted about your purpose, nothing can deter you from pursuing it. This conviction arises from a clear understanding of your unique mission in life, a deep knowledge that you are meant to make a difference, and a belief that your life has significant value. It's an inner knowing that guides every decision, every action, and every thought. It doesn't mean the road will always be smooth, but it gives you the strength to keep moving forward. Conviction about your purpose requires clarity. You cannot live out your purpose without first understanding what it is. Discovering your purpose is an ongoing process that involves self-reflection, listening to your heart, and aligning with your values. Purpose isn't a one-time decision, but a constant awareness that shapes your life choices. When you know what you're called to do, you find your direction, and your actions become intentional. This clarity leads to focus. With conviction, you are able to filter out distractions and stay on course. Every opportunity, every interaction, and every challenge becomes a means to sharpen your focus and move closer to your goal. The distractions that once seemed overwhelming become irrelevant when you are grounded in your purpose. You see every moment as an opportunity to take another step toward fulfilling your calling. Living with conviction also gives you resilience. Life is full of setbacks and challenges, but when you are committed to your purpose, you develop the strength to face any obstacle. Challenges no longer seem insurmountable because you understand they are part of the journey. You view them as opportunities to grow, learn, and evolve. When your conviction is strong, you keep your eyes on the long-term vision, knowing that every setback is temporary and part of your greater purpose. Conviction also empowers you to influence others. When you live out your purpose with unwavering commitment, your passion and determination are contagious. People are drawn to your energy, your vision, and your authenticity. Your actions speak louder than words, and your example inspires others to find and pursue their own purpose. You become a beacon of light for those seeking direction, helping them recognize that they too can live with conviction and purpose. In addition to these practical benefits, living out your purpose with conviction brings deep fulfillment. It's not about achieving success in the world's eyes, but about finding inner peace and satisfaction. Purpose gives life meaning, and when you are committed to living it out, you experience a deep sense of fulfillment that no external achievement can provide. You know that you are making a difference, and that realization brings peace, joy, and a sense of contentment that surpasses worldly rewards. Ultimately, living with conviction to fulfill your purpose is not about achieving perfection. It's about living authentically, staying true to your calling, and trusting the process. It's a life marked by passion, resilience, and fulfillment, one that will inspire others to do the same. With conviction, you become a force of change in your own life and in the lives of others, living a life that is meaningful, impactful, and aligned with your deepest values.